Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show where after the AEW, we see through Wreckage. I am your host, Jimmy T. Oh, well.
Jimmy, yeah. I don't think we need to change the catchphrase. I mean, technically it is still after the collision, so we can still say that that's the last thing that happens. So, and we don't do the show until collision happens, so I guess we could just keep the catchphrase too, right? We don't have to change a damn thing.
That's a good point, actually. And I thought about that because technically it is after the collision, but because I don't want to confuse people with, because it's a new format, right? So, we're sifting through the AEW Wreckage. But technically, you're correct. As a matter of fact, it is after the collision, and we do sift through the wreckage. So in saying that, I am your host, Jimmy T. That is my co-host, the vet, Jamie Williams. And we are live right here on Hameen Media Group's YouTube channel and on Twitch, as a matter of fact. And we're also on channelattitude.com after the fact. Vet, what is going on, my friend? And again, AEW, I mean, it's been an extreme week of all extreme wrestling.
We got the bases loaded for a grand slam, even though that's a tennis stadium. But I don't know how to, I don't know how to make a sports analogy to what we just saw. That'll be the next thing that happens as far as AEW goes, is grand slam. And that it seems like this whole week was just getting us ready for that and setting the table. Sometimes they're finding a little last minute seat for somebody at the table, just pushing the folding chair up to the table at the last second. And so this grand slam is shaping up to be what feels like a 5-hour card again.
I mean, is it? Do you think it's going to go over? I mean, no, wait a minute. It's supposed to be 2 hours, right? Supposedly.
It's the normal Dynamite, but like, just looking at all the matches they had, it's like, what it feels like, the amount of matches they have, it's going to be like another pay-per-view is what it feels like. So we'll see. I guess all the matches will be short then. Well,
I am confused still on the fact that we've got, Grand Slam Dynamite, and then we got Grand Slam the pay-per-view in my neck of the woods. Not exactly my neck of the woods, but in Australia. I'm confused, dude. They shouldn't even call it Grand Slam for the pay-per-view down here. They should just call it something like I don't know, Collision Down Under or some shit. Heck, if they call it the Wreckage, maybe we can make some money. I mean, I'd rather them call it that. That'd be actually pretty funny. The AEW Wreckage Down Under. But anyway, that's for the future. We'll see what happens there. But Vet, oh man, like AEW is something else, bro. But at least I kind of enjoyed myself when it came to Collision, believe it or not. But we'll get there when we do. And before we do actually get there, Vet, let's actually hit some news. Because apparently, or allegedly, it seems the Lucha Brothers have officially signed with WWE. Now, I can't confirm that as fact, but all signs are pointing to the fact that they actually have signed up. And apparently they're going to skip NXT and go straight to the main roster. If true, what's your thoughts, man?
If true, these were already my thoughts. Because when the rumors were going around that they were going to sign, and I don't know if it was you or Ray or whoever asked me, what do I think about the Lucha Brothers in NXT? I believe I said, and the chat can correct me on my own, my own past if they want, if they remember better than I do, but I'm pretty sure I said, yeah, we don't need any tag teams at NXT. There's no point. So they should just go straight to whatever show they're going to be on. There's nothing that they can do with NXT. I don't personally think so. That's what I said. And if that's what the rumor is, then that means that, at least somebody agrees with what I said. But yeah, like, I'm sure they're going there. I'm sure there's more, there's more to the rumors than just rumors, but it's just annoying when like you see these things, like people just post this I want to say Ringside News or Wrestle Votes or like one of these, let's just say less than credible sources in my mind. They just post this, and then you look at the official, you go to like, well, what are all the, what do all the usual official outlets say? And none of them are reporting it. Like, they don't want to confirm that. So that kind of like, calls it into question. But, yeah, I don't see any official announcements, and they usually don't make official announcements if they want to have like a surprise. So
that's true.
What might it be? True. Might they hold them until Raw and Netflix, or?
Good question.
Just to have something. Apparently, rumors were that the Motor City Machine Guns were going to be on NXT this week. No, they weren't. So, but here's the thing: were they? And then when the rumor got out, they just changed it just so the rumors could be wrong. I mean, we don't know. That's the problem with spreading these rumors. I don't know. Everybody in the wrestling journalism space has to be the one to like break the story, because whoever breaks the story is just going to get sourced in everybody else's reporting of it, right? Like, why do I need to sign up for Fightful Select? Everybody else is going to tell me what Fightful Select says for free. So why would I pay them, right?
Dumb.
So
you're spot on.
So the only way you can even get people to sign up for your subscription services, whatever, is if you're going to be the first one that's going to be able to break the news stories most of the time, so that your fans will be the first ones to know in quotes. I'm doing quotes if you're listening on audio only. I'm doing air quotes. You'll be the first to know. But I mean, if we just want to forget all that bullshit, if we just want to talk about the Lucha Brothers, yes. Go to Raw, go to SmackDown, go whichever one you want. These guys know what they're doing. They'll be fine. Just don't give anybody a Michinoku driver.
Yeah, or a Tiger Driver 97 or 91, 95, 2004. I don't care what year it is. Just don't do it. And you know what? That reminds me. Stop doing Storm Zeros, women. Please. You're scaring the shit out of me with the continuous Storm Zeros, especially from Mariah May. I don't like the way she executes them, but we'll get to that when we get there. Yeah, look, I'm actually quite happy for him. I think this is a good move by them. I can see them becoming a big deal, but until Rey Mysterio retires, though, they're not going to go past a certain threshold, I think. And I mean, think
Rey
about
Mysterio's not even at a certain threshold.
No, but you know what? It was Big Ray that came up with that expression, because I mean, he came up with look at Dragon Lee. Look at all the other luchadors, for example, in WWE. The way they're treating them, they're not exactly doing anything. Do you know what I'm saying? So I can see where he comes from when he said that. I thought, oh yeah, I could see that. But maybe I could be completely wrong though. I hope they do something ASAP. But I think you're right, Vet. I think they'll save him. Oh no, Labrat with the bad comment, by the way. No, we don't want Lucha Party 2.0, please. Oh, but that's right, Vince isn't there, so we probably won't get that. But can you imagine? Lucha. They're done after that. But I think you're right. I think they will save him though, Vet, till when it comes to, what do you call it? The Netflix debut for WWE Raw.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
And I'm
not making a prediction, but I'm just saying it's a possibility of some reason why we might hold off the debut a little bit. But I wouldn't want to really. I might want to debut them at one of these PLEs. Just hey, look what we got. Look who's here. And then you're gonna, and if you like, let's say, I'm just saying the next one's Bad Blood, right? I'm not saying you have to do it at Bad Blood. It could be Survivor Series, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whichever one, if you do it, if you make a debut there, or you lead into it something where they can make a debut, or you could just show them like, hey, look who we just signed. Like maybe they don't have to do an angle. Maybe it's just like, well, we welcome the Lucha Brothers here, do the handshake with Triple H and all that stuff, the contract signings and all these things. You do all that, and then you do all that, and then that's, if people see that on like a PLE, that we're more likely to want to see, like, if they care, they're going to be more likely to want to be like, oh, let me watch Monday Night Raw, see if they do something with them on there, and then get the viewership on that up, and that would be a good way to do it. I think. But what do I know? I'm just a guy.
But you're the vet. You're not just any guy. Come on now. But also to your point, do you think this is probably a dumb question I'm going to ask because I think the fans pretty much know who they are at this point. But do you think the fans will know exactly who they are? They have done the rounds, with various promotions over the last few years. So I'm pretty confident the fans will react to them. But imagine they're like, who the hell are these guys? Is that fucking, Ray's brother Phoenix? I'm just saying, Ray Phoenix, right? They're not gonna call him Ray Phoenix anyway. He's gonna be just Phoenix, 100%.
Well, it's again, if you have a debut somewhere where the people will definitely know them, then it's gonna feel like you should know them even if you don't. If you just debut them in Chillicothe, Ohio, or someplace, yeah, you may not get the reaction you want. So I think the WWE can make anybody look like a star, even if you never heard of them. So
yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's one thing they
so that's on WWE.
No, for sure, definitely, I agree with that 100%. And sticking with AEW news, apparently, reportedly, Vet Miro has requested his release from AEW. I mean, how long did you want to wait, buddy, for that release? Then again, I don't blame him. I'm sure he was happy getting paid doing fuck all. But still, I find that kind of interesting that the news floating around is that he wants his release. I wonder why.
It's hard to believe that it just happened. I'm quite sure he asked for his release probably several times over the past however long. So
yeah, but talk has also been that he's been hard to deal with, though, in terms of they feed him whatever, and he's like, "No, I'm not doing it, not doing this, not doing that." And honestly, I don't blame him. If it's fucking bullshit, like absolute crap, absolutely, reject it. Fuck it. But I feel like he's trolling this company in many ways, man. I just feel like for the last, when did he sign? Like, was it 4 years ago? 3 years ago?
It's been a while. I don't recall exactly. It's
been a while. Well, it feels like practically since day dot, he's been refusing shit. Nah, and still getting paid for it, apparently. So is he trolling at this point? And if he does leave, do you think WWE would actually be interested? Because to be fair, he hasn't gotten his name out there, dude. Honestly, he actually hasn't. So why should WWE even be open to bringing him back?
It's a good question because they really have plenty of people they're already not using. So bringing in one more, it's not going to help, especially somebody that's been off of TV for so long. Not only are you off of TV, so you're out of the public. I mean, you could look at it as a positive, like you give him like he's refreshed in people's minds because they haven't seen him, so they're not sick of him. But at the same time, that's all of this time he's not been wrestling, so then he's got to get back in ring shape, and he doesn't have a wife with him to bring anymore, so that gimmick's over. Jeez. Then you got the fact that it's just not that much room for anybody left anymore. I mean, even though we're talking about the Lucha Brothers, like, is there room for the Lucha Brothers? Only because they're a tag team. But how many tag teams are just not getting used that are perfectly healthy? Like, what's Pretty Deadly? When are they ever on SmackDown? Like once a month? Once every 6 weeks?
Yeah, pretty much.
They're not injured.
Look,
they just don't use them.
And when they are on TV, they're used as lackeys to Nia. That was the last time I saw him.
Right. So if Nia, if they're lackeys and Nia's in a segment and Tiffany's in a segment and they're not, then you have to ask why not. If they're just lackeys anyway, why aren't they just there in the scene? There's a lot of things that don't make sense. So I don't know. Just Miro just seems like a guy that's like, okay, you had your time. It was what it was. There's not much else we can do at this point. You're not needed. No offense to the guy. It's just, I don't know what to, at this point, I don't really know what to do. And if he's been playing like the sort of, if he has been playing those politics, like if he, let's say he goes to AEW, it's like, okay, WWE didn't want to use me. They disrespected me and my wife. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm going over there. Well, I mean, let's face it, Jimmy, they did. They kind of did, right? So
they did, absolutely.
So anyway, it's just funny because I think about like when we hear about people talking about Rikishi running his mouth about his son and like this whole Rhea Ripley thing of like, oh, I don't want to interfere with my son's marriage. It's like, first of all, shut the fuck up. Second of all, nobody was saying that shit when you were trying to have her make out with Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Lashley, like right in so like you do that angle where she's making out with Dolph Ziggler, like that's not a rib. So they just are like, oops, we accidentally got engaged or whatever, or married. Like, oops, leaked it. Oops. So now we can't do this storyline that you're making us do, which is stupid in the first place and draw $0. So anyway, yeah, you get treated like that. You go to AEW, you think, okay, fresh start. Maybe it doesn't go the way you think. Maybe you go there and you're like, geez, this isn't exactly, I didn't think Kip Sabian was like the number one hot feud that I'd be put in here with. So yeah, all of a sudden you get pitched these ideas and all of a sudden you don't want to do it. And these supposed injuries, which the injuries are probably legit, but then again, maybe they're legit for a little bit longer than they need to be if I'm not that into coming back, you know? I get paid anyway. So I can see how he's just like, yeah, this is, maybe he's thinking this is my last run, so I'm just going to collect and I'm not going to come back to wrestling when the contract is up. Maybe I'll just collect millions of dollars and then retire on that.
Why not? Heck, I heard he was back in Bulgaria. I mean, if he's happy in Bulgaria, by all means. You know what I mean? He's done what he's done.
Didn't he escape Bulgaria to come to the United States to live his dream? He made it sound like he was escaping, bro.
Come on. I don't know. He's full of shit. Bulgaria wasn't going through any wars during his time. You know what I mean? It's not that. Look, not that I would go to Bulgaria, right? There's no reason for me to want to go there. I mean, what's in Bulgaria? No offense to any Bulgarian listeners out there. I don't even know a Bulgarian personally, but I'm just saying, why would you want to go to Bulgaria? I mean,
I'm sure there's lots of Bulgarian communities right here in the U.S.
I'm sure there's.
I don't know about Australia, but here in the U.S. we got some Bulgarians, you know?
I know. There's definitely Bulgarians here too, but I just don't know any of them. I know every other race. I'm telling you, Bulgarians, they don't come. Well, if you consider the former Republic of Macedonia Bulgarians, that's another story. Then I know plenty of them. There's a lot of those ones. But anyway, we're not here to talk politics or geography and whatnot. But the point is, Miro, I truly think WWE are not going to be interested in him. And I don't even know why they should be. Like you said, they've already drained that cloth, if you know what I mean, and dry, then again, completely dry.
Then again, we say this, yet why is Giovanni Vinci back on SmackDown?
That's a good point.
He got released.
That's true.
Like, remember?
Yeah.
Imperium kicked him out. Then he got released. And that was news. Like, he was in a group of people that just got released. Then he quietly got re-signed, and nobody reported on that to my knowledge. He just showed back up one day. Like, when did this happen? Where was Sean Ross Sapp on this one? Where was his sources telling us that they re-signed Giovanni Vinci? He just shows back up and nobody said anything? Or maybe they did and I just missed it. But the point is, he just shows back up on SmackDown and it's like, oh, here he is again. Like, you don't need him either. No offense.
No, they don't.
I mean, I don't know. So maybe if they think he's worth bringing back, then they do want to bring Miro back maybe. So, you know, it just depends. It depends on what his relationship is with the people that are there.
Well, if they make some sort of European, super group with Gunther the leader, then yeah, why not? I could see something like that. Not that, Germans or Austrians in particular really group up with Bulgarians, but hey, it's pro wrestling, right? They're all Europeans, so it doesn't matter. You could do something with them, I guess. But I don't know, man. Rusev Day is long and gone. You know, I mean, what are you going to do with him? You're going to make him Russian again? You know what I mean? Like, come on. I mean, I don't know, bro. I'm not even interested at this point anymore. Honestly, it doesn't bother me if he comes back or doesn't. I'm indifferent, and I truly think they're going to waste him anyway, even if he does come back. I don't think they even look at him as anyone like that you could be, put into the main event sort of fold. I just don't know why. That's just the impression I get, but that's just me. It's only from the feeling I get, and there's no reason for me to feel that way. I just think that if it's true, like you said before, if he's been playing politics to this extent in AEW, surely that would be looked at as a negative even in WWE, that he's playing that hard to get, if you know what I mean. So screw him, man. I mean,
well, if
whatever, it's up to
he
him.
has done that, I'm sure he's been in contact with people. Like they're like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm just doing this because you know." And they're like, "Yeah, go ahead, do that." I mean, he was an NXT, right? He was a Triple H guy, right? So
absolutely right. Yep.
Whatever his relationship is with Triple H, it was different when he got brought up. Like I'm sure Triple H had a vision for him, and I don't think Vince McMahon had the same vision, and that's why we end up getting what we get. So if he gets brought back, maybe Triple H would think, okay, let's go with the original vision. I'll get a fresh start. Let's try to do it what I was going to do. And if that doesn't work, we could just let him go or whatever.
I guess.
So we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, time will tell. Anyway, in other news, apparently Zilla Fatu has cut ties with GCW and has pissed off a whole bunch of people there. To me, it just smells like he's going to WWE. I know, look, there's been talk that he's hard to work with, apparently. If you remember him quitting Booker's promotion at the time, and there was all that debacle between him and Booker, but then they literally, buried the hatchet and everything is all good again. But now he seems to be doing this with GCW and I think MLW as well. What do you think? I personally think he's signed with WWE now, and I'm not really thinking too much of it. But GCW seem to have made a big deal about it. So, Vet, what's your thoughts on that?
I'm just kind of hearing it now. I don't have a sense of him as a person. I've never seen him work a match. I've barely even seen him at all. I think I saw one photo of him ever. Until recently, I wasn't even aware there was another brother. So I don't have really much of an opinion on it. So
that's fair enough. That's cool. Like I said, I personally think I've only seen him in like a couple of matches. I haven't like full on followed his whole career, but I've seen enough to know that, like, he's got a great look, that's for sure. He just comes across as a bit too, I don't know, tense, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He doesn't take shit from nobody type of deal. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that makes him hard to work with, but it's just that's the impression I get. But we'll see what happens there. Apparently Swerve is on a rest break, and he plans to return very soon, Vet. So don't expect him to be around anytime soon until at least October, in the middle of October, where they go back to Washington and do a show because, that's where he's from, or Tacoma, Washington anyway, to be precise. So does Swerve need a rest after getting syringes? And personally, I wouldn't even want to show my face ever. If I was Swerve, bro, honestly, I'd be so pissed with Tony and that whole company for the whole debacle. But if that was his idea for the stupid syringes, like I said, I still can't comprehend how both of these guys agreed to that shit. And the center block. I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, do these guys know what they're doing, or are they literally that clueless?
Well, I'm pretty sure Hangman's proven to be clueless multiple times.
Right, exactly. That's
but you also sort of work yourself into a corner where it's like, okay, we already had the brutal death match where I drank the blood, and now we have to do something else. So like you can't do less than you did before. I mean, you can, but then people will complain that you did less than you did before. So they just feel like they need to keep raising the bar, and it's on them if that's what they want to do. I wish they would have done it in a way that made more sense, in a way that was more artistic or realistic. What they ended up doing was, like I said, just go listen to Cornette's review of the match. If you really want my deep thoughts on it, I just agree with everything he said there. I don't always agree with everything Jim Cornette says, but when it comes to like breaking down psychology of wrestling and the wrestling business and the history of wrestling, yes, I do. And, but I mean, it's just simple things of like, these things would be impossible to do. Like, you have to cooperate to do some of these things. So it's not realistic. Like, if you had the match, like, I'll give you an example of, like, if we lived in a sane wrestling world where for some reason we had to have an unsanctioned cage match between two guys who hated each other. Even if we took out, okay, you didn't burn down my childhood home, because if that was real, you would have been arrested. It's not like I would have wanted you in the cage with me. I would have been happy with you being arrested and going to jail and getting raped or whatever. I'd rather do that than actually get my hands dirty. Yeah. But forget all that. Let's just say we just really don't like each other and we have to have this cage match. So the way you do a match like this is you could have these things. You could have all of these things. You could have cinder blocks. You could have barbed wire. You could have syringes. You could have all these things. And what you're trying to do in the match is kill the other guy, but you can't do it. Like, take the cinder block, go to smash it against his head, and he moves and you break it on the ring post. Okay, now I can't use the cinder block anymore, but I tried, right? The psychology is there. They saw you try to kill him. You didn't do it. You missed. Go with the syringe or whatever. Like, fight over the syringe. The syringe goes flying somewhere. You forget about it. It's done. We're done with the syringe. Right. Or you could break it. Like, you could take the syringe away and break the syringe. Like, I ain't using this and neither are you. There's so many different ways you could do that. And then whatever the final thing is, you might only have to build up to take one crazy bump, and that's the end of the match. Instead, they just kept doing stuff and kicking out of it, but all that stuff had to be intricately set up. Like, I got to climb up here slowly. You got to come up with me. Now I got to suplex you. You know, like, these things that wouldn't happen ever. So that's, you know, do these guys have a clue? I understand why they did what they did, but it shouldn't have had to get to that point. And I bet Swerve needs some time off, but you also, like, you have to, even if he's fine and ready to go, you still kind of have to sell the match. Otherwise it meant nothing. So at least the fact, sell the damn match you had. At least that, like, at least we could say you're selling it. You didn't sell in the match, but you could sell after the match.
Yeah, but then what about Hangman being around like nothing happened?
I would have fired him. You know, like, if I was Tony Khan, I just storyline fire him, you know? Well, I would have done that after the arson, like, or any of the other things he's done, you know?
Oh, yeah, he's a criminal, bro. Straight up. Criminal, man. Arrest the guy. Jesus. Anyway, that was that. And I wanted to point out, and I forgot to mention it before, but I'll mention it now. I loved what you said on the Next Level last week. Go check that out right here on channelattitude.com, where you brought up about Rikishi, and you spoke about how Rikishi is literally, is he working himself? Like, does he not have a clue, like, how professional wrestling works? You know what I mean? Because when you said what you said, I was like, fucking yay, man. Like, what you said was exactly what I wanted to say initially, but I didn't find the right words, but you said it perfectly. And you're spot on, bro. What's wrong with this guy? Sorry to take it back, but I just wanted to say it to you, because when I listened to it, I literally put a fist in the air and like, yeah, man, exactly how I felt. So, I mean,
that's right. Everyone adored me. Everyone in the chat put flower emojis.
No, you deserve that, because if he said about his son going to AEW, did he really say that?
I think he just I think he was just throwing it out there just to, like a joke, kind of. But...
No, that's not a joke, bro. You can't say that. It's not a joke in this business, though. When you say shit like that he can be passed straight on to his sons, which is true. It's just the way the wrestling business is. You know what I mean? If I was Jay, man, I would be pissed with my own dad. And you're right.
He's shrugged it off. He's shrugged it off multiple times. I've heard him say, like, yeah, Pops, he's just, he feels some type of way, like he's trying to have a positive attitude. I don't think he can get too mad. I don't think Jay gets too mad at his dad, because regardless of what his dad says, he can feel what it's like to be where he's at. He knows that he's getting over doing basically nothing. And that's the best feeling in the world, when you can go out and have an entire arena doing what you do, waving the hands up and down. Like, there are wrestlers that would kill to have ever been able to get even one person to do something, let alone, stadiums all over the country and the world. So I'm sure he can't be too mad at his dad, because he's living his push right now, and it's really good. I don't think people really think about him winning or losing. It's true. They just think of matter. Like, he's Jey Uso. If Jey Uso comes out, people are gonna say yeet, and they're gonna do this.
He's and that's it, now, bro. Really,
they don't even care. It's just like, yeah. And like, I just feel like Rikishi knows that. He should know that. He should know better than that. Or if he's just trying to work up some attention for his own stuff that he's doing, then maybe that's how he decided to do it.
He's jealous of
I mean, I ain't going to go listen to his show, so it didn't work on me.
No,
but
neither am I.
yeah, but maybe somebody did. So, whatever. Maybe they're all just doing what they got to do. But anyway.
And I want to praise Big Ray too, because when he said that he's jealous of his kids, I was saying that right before he said it. I'm like, he's jealous. It comes across like he's jealous of his kids. And then you hit the nail on the head. Remember Total Divas, for example?
Oh,
you were talking about a Total Divas set. You didn't say Total Divas, but I knew exactly what you were talking about. You know what makes it even better? 3 of his sons married black women. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
well, the culture is good enough to appropriate, just not good enough to, be part of the family.
See what I mean?
And speaking of the culture, Zane Vicious says, I care. So, all right. Well, Zane Vicious does care if Jay wins or loses. So hopefully, Jay's going to become the Intercontinental Champion just for Zane Vicious. You could do it. You can do it, Jay. You beat that Steiner kid. You beat him. He's beatable. We've seen it. We've seen him lose. He lost to Dolph Ziggler. Nobody loses to Dolph Ziggler.
And you know what? Last but not least, and then we'll get into the sifting, because other than this, I don't think there's any other news really worth talking about. Except for one, but I'll get there. Apparently SmackDown, this rumor has been hanging around now for the last 3 weeks, Ven. I don't like it. But it seems that SmackDown's going to be 3 hours soon, dude. It's going to be a 3-hour show. Yeah.
And you'll watch it and like it.
No, fuck no. I don't want no, man. That's what makes SmackDown, decent. Because it's 2 hours. And even then, I still think Raw's the better show right now. And has been for a while. SmackDown 3 hours will really make me hate the show. Because then I think it'll turn bad. Like, it'll expose itself being 3 hours. In my opinion. So I hope the rumors aren't true. But this shit just doesn't seem to go away. And I've got a bad feeling about it. And why not, right? I'm sure they'd want it to be 3 hours. I'm not talking about WWE. But maybe the networks. What's your thoughts on that? Do we need 6 hours of just 2 shows a week?
We don't need any hours of anything. You can always watch something else.
Professor is in the house, believing the yeet.
Can you be a fan and say, "Hey, I love this," but not too much? I mean, it's kind of weird, right? If you really love it, you would think you would want more of it. And if any point in the show it's not to your liking, you could just skip ahead or just pull out your phone. The power of the phone, Jimmy. Like, if you have to watch SmackDown Live and it gets a little bit slow or a little bit long, just power the phone. You'll find something to entertain you. Isn't everybody just doing exactly what they want at any given time?
Yes, but you know what? Please don't say that, Cold-Blooded.
Cold-Blooded says it's actually a misprint. SmackDown is really moving to 3 days. Yeah. Every weekend is an entire like full event of like SmackDowns. Like they'll just televise an autograph signing for 3 hours, and then the next night will be like, yeah.
Oh God, man. Anyway, Professor thinks that it would benefit someone like a Piper Niven. I'm sure it would benefit a few wrestlers if it was to go 3 hours. but they need to get a lot. I just think they need to build that roster more if they are going to go 3 hours. I think there's just something's missing on SmackDown lately. Even this whole bloodline thing and all that, cool. But I need some more. I need more story to it now. Like it's kind of stale at this
More
point a little
story.
bit. No,
they're going to submit story, that. Like, they're going to submit that short film to the Academy this year for consideration.
With the one with Cody, that felt very cinematic. No, but for real, right? What I mean by that, yeah, they've told a great story till this point. Actually, let's be fair. The story ended last year, bro, when Cody lost, and not when he was supposed to win. For me, that's when the story really ended. And this is just.
But now there's a new story. It's a sequel.
Is it really?
We need a sequel. You know what they say about
sequels? Man, 5 years is enough. All right. I mean, come up with something new. And when I say new, give me story. Why are the Tongans there? Really? Right?
Because.
Like, tell us why they're there. We haven't gotten that yet. I know why, but I'm just saying, like, technically, they haven't actually said why. And if they expect everybody to know why, then they're acting like AEW. And I'm not talking about for the fans like us and everybody listening and whatnot. I'm talking about just for your normal, fan that doesn't know the history and the backstories of everybody. Do you know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, just give us something like more to everything. Like, who's Jacob Fatu? You know what I mean? Why is he? How is he related?
Well,
to
he's
everybody?
The enforcer, Jimmy. End of story.
Yeah, but he's the enforcer, sure. But come on, man.
What more do you need? He's the Samoan werewolf. He has a nickname and he has a job title. So what more story do you need? Wrestling fans are stupid. Except everybody here and everybody listening. But everybody else is stupid. Okay? They don't need why is this that all of a sudden we think this is high art? I think there's too much storytelling in wrestling. I was just laughing that whole Georgia Tech football field gimmick with Cody and Roman. I was just laughing at it. I'm laughing at it. It's funny to me.
Bro. It's corny as fuck, man. It was really corny.
Yeah, but they really thought they did something there. And then what do they do? What do? They go back to the Kevin Owens well of like, is he going to turn on his friend? Like, how many times has Kevin Owens turned on a friend? He needs to stop.
Always.
They even made a joke about it already about how he turned on his friend too many times. And they're still doing it.
Well, props says SmackDown needs more cowbell. Although we get to that later on when we sift. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, you're right. But this whole thing is just,
and we need 3 hours of it so we could tell all these stories, right? That's exactly. Look, if you make SmackDown 3 hours, they're gonna just do they're just gonna do an extra 40 minutes of padding. Oh, look at the recap from last week's SmackDown. Hey, this happened on Monday Night Raw. Hey, look at all the social media things that we did over here. Or look here's another shot of the city. There's so many things on that show that kill time. And like Labrat saying, they aren't using all their talent now. So many people off TV still won't get on because they'll just make all the filler longer rather than actually use the people. They got enough people. Back when we were talking about the Lucha Brothers, I just said Pretty Deadly's not even on every week. So, or Piper Niven, another example, like Professor brings up, there's many other examples like that. They have plenty of talent and they're not utilizing their TV time, but we can't make them. We just have to sit here and, take it.
Yeah, take it all right, like this, vet, like that. Anyway, that's the news pretty much, ladies and gents. I think it's time I put the gloves on and we start sifting through this. How should I say it? As we speak.
Sound like you're in a U-boat.
Does that make me put even more reverb where I echo after that? I'll be like, wreckage.
All right. Well, let me get out my let me pull up my notes from the scene of the accident here. Okay.
Oh man, Prof, do you really think that? Do you really think that if someone pays them for 3 hours, then take the money? I guess why not? True.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Who can suffer for their
it's their fault. They it would be different if they had not ever gone live on TV. Because then you could have you could have taped content and you could have just shown that for 3 hours. But this is the route they went years ago, and now they're stuck with it. You can't just not be live now.
No,
Dynamite
stay live. Yes,
Dynamite's live.
The jaws of light.
Live on Dynamite. Yeah, the new owners show up to the building. And of course, I'm referring to. I have to explain all my jokes to Jimmy because he just.
You better. No, I get it, Moxley. Okay, don't worry, I get it.
Okay, got it. You just let me know. You just cut me off if I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Me,
Darby's here too.
If I don't, when I don't get it. By the way, I've got this fucking. Even when I'm trying to lie, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. You still call me out, and then I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah, you think you can't work me, Jimmy? Darby's here too. Here's my question for everyone. Do you think Darby, because he rolled in on a skateboard, you think he just takes the skateboard across the United States? Like as soon as Dynamite's over, he's got to skate over to, you know what I'm saying? Like, where was Collision?
Why not? Wouldn't that be a good cartoon actually for him, or a video game? Like, where he's, I'm talking about like a kids based game.
Darby Allin's Pro Skater? 1 and 2 remastered?
Not? Yeah. Or Darby Allin's Extreme Skater. Okay. That's money.
There it is. Okay. So they're here, but we're starting out with the conglomeration and the learning tree. So this is going to be the Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho.
Hey guys.
Oh
boy. Do you want to tell you
the long-awaited rematch, long-term storytelling,
long-awaited rematch.
This is WWE could take some notes here. You think the Bloodline's a long-term story? This
4 fucking years. WWE. Hey, the Bloodline is going 5, but they got him.
Now, technically, it should have ended last week because he already paid him back for the jacket, so it should be wrapped.
No, you're right,
but
that's true.
Instead,
facts.
Yeah, so this happened, and I don't remember the result of it. Did it just turn into a schmoz at the end?
No, you know what? Darby won the match. I mean, not Darby.
Darby wasn't there.
Orange, yeah, Orange. Orange won the match. But I want to say this. I kid you not. I'm not kidding you. I fell asleep through the match. I knocked out through the match. Luckily, for whatever reason, my feet stopped playing. I thought someone, I said to D, did you stop the show? Because why is it not playing? So I didn't miss anything, damn it. I ended up seeing who won. So I missed the middle. The match went for 30 minutes, bro. No, really. It went for close to 30 minutes.
Well, it had to. It was epic. It was epic blow-off.
See, they were blowing each other off, it felt like. But anyway, that's another story. But no shit, I actually enjoyed the start bit. I thought the way Orange Cassidy with his offense at first, great stuff. Then it just went in this lull, and I fell asleep, and I woke up with my feet off. I continue where I was, and then I see Orange get the win, and I was like, "Wow, still going." I was just glad the match was over. I'm glad that actually Orange won. He was pretty over in this match. The crowd were right behind him, dude. I'll give him that. And, Jericho, he needs to stop taking every win off everybody, man. That's what it feels like, bro. He gets the win he has to be over on everyone. I don't care what he says. He really wants to be over everybody. But thank God that Orange does get the win. Does it matter? Probably not, because where does he go from here? Do we continue? Like you said, long-term storytelling? I don't see why we need to. But whatever the case, hopefully Orange goes on and does something else, man. But I'm over this, bro. I'm already over it, and it's only really been 2 weeks of storytelling. Well, I know it's 4 years, but
Well, let's hope it's over, because as Cold Blooded points out, inflation has risen in the last 4 years, so that $7,000 would be more like $10,000.
Yeah.
Now. So maybe
facts.
I don't know if this squares them for the other 3, or I don't know if Jericho doesn't know that math, but Anyway.
We need Steiner-math.
Yeah. Okay, the new owners do a promo, and it's got music underneath it. So this is a classic.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things when somebody does a promo where there's music playing. Then we see Wheeler Yuta and Marvez. So Wheeler Yuta still doing the despondent, like, oh yeah, yeah. I know we're still the champions, and I hate these guys, but I guess I'll defend it with them if they want. Okay.
What a cuck, bro! Straight up, like. I mean, hey, come on, man.
Leave the kid alone. Right, he's had a hard time.
Fine. You're right.
He's trying to grow a beard. All right, just let him.
Man.
Roderick Strong's at the desk for commentary because it's going to be Hook versus JD Inc.
What is fucking... When I heard that name, then I looked at him and I'm like, really? JD Inc.
JD Inc. A guy with the same amount of tattoos as every other fucking wrestler.
Me, bro.
You can't even... That's not even like a really unique gimmick.
But JD Inc., like, I bet you he thinks I'm so cool that I came up with that. Like, look at me. Look how original I am. JD Inc., get it? Oh, boy. Bro, you're not going to go nowhere with a name like that. Straight up. You won't. I don't care what anyone says. But, yeah. If you think
his match rate just went up.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he's on Dynamite.
Now he can ask for $400 a match for... needless to say, Hook wins. I don't think that was, and they didn't take up too much of our time with this, but I like these kind of things that these are the kind of things that you don't really get from WWE anymore. I mean, you kind of do sometimes, but rarely, where you have a guy just go out there just to make an appearance, beat somebody, and then Strong is out there to do the verbally selling, which I always find it's kind of funny, the imagining of like, okay, Roderick Strong, we need you to sell this on the commentary desk. Like, that's the guy you want to talk us into the building. Okay. But, it didn't even last long enough for him to matter. He couldn't even get anything out because the match was over so quick. So it didn't matter. Then Alex Marvez is with Private Party and they call out Jon Moxley. And then, hold on, I actually accidentally hit my phone. So they call out Moxley, and then we go to Renee with the Patriarchy, and for some strange reason, they are still bitching out Kip Sabian. Like they haven't already done enough to this guy, but they're still he's still just standing there, letting them talk about his dead dad and doing nothing. Yeah, he's barely even selling it with his face. He just stares at him.
Dude, personally, I know it's professional wrestling. I get it, right? I totally get it. But if that was me, I would never do that, with any dead relative, okay? Period. Just, you don't need to bring that. It doesn't need to be a fucking wrestling storyline, man. It just doesn't, all right? For them to be doing that, it just doesn't, I don't like it, man, because I don't know, man, how he could have been really close to his dad and, that could irk him just hearing that. And the way Christian says shit too, it is so disrespectful. You might as well just spit on the guy. You know what I mean? Like, you might as well piss on him too while you're at it.
Oh, that's coming. Don't worry. Yeah. I'm going to take a guess. You probably skipped Rampage again, but don't worry. We'll get to that.
I did actually. I did skip Rampage, unfortunately. Because, apparently that show is cancelled from next year, by the way.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I forgot to mention. And we're going to get that new AEW show, whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called already, but doesn't matter. We'll worry about it when the time comes.
All right, let's come up with I don't know if you could come up with a better tag team match than Serena Deeb and the Glamour versus Queen Aminata and Yuka Sakazaki. So we got a queen and a magical girl versus a professor and a glamour.
Wow, gimmicks.
Who wins? Who wins this classic battle? I mean, it's very exciting.
I mean, if only Yuka Sakazaki would actually sing as her finisher. Can you imagine? She starts singing and everyone's like covering their ears, like, stop. You know what I mean? And they submit.
Someone verbally gives up.
Yeah. I mean, why not? If you're going to use syringes, cinder blocks and shit like that, Why can't you sing somebody to fucking to quit? You know what I mean? Sing them to quitting. Why not? Might as well. I mean, something different. Thank you, Prof. AEW Shockwave. That's the show that will be replacing Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
Just quietly.
Aaron
Shockwave,
Aaron says, "Where's Maki Ito?" Well, she's in Japan where she lives and works.
I was thinking the same thing. I didn't realize that Jeannie became a singer, you see? But that seems to be the thing now. And she sings like shit.
Well. Yeah. So, that match happened. And then we saw Mina Shirakawa, and she's answering Mariah, because she's been saying she misses Mina, and Mina says Mina is coming. So there's a little double entendre there.
Mina's coming. Mina's coming, all right. I wonder where, but yeah. Look, I like Mina, honestly. I actually do. I'm starting to really look. She's good looking. 1, but 2, she's actually a great wrestler as well. 3, I like her look too. But Mariah May, I'm starting to get really sick of it, bro. A little bit, man.
So disgusting. This man, Jimmy T, who's sitting over here saying, "I shit you not, Mariah May. You're putting her over. All this stuff you're telling us, we're in for a treat. This girl's good. All this other stuff, and we all just sat here and we're like, nobody cares. And now she's here, and you're the one that turned on her. Nobody said anything. None of us turned on her, but you turned on her. I'm just so disappointed.
Time out. Does she need the championship? She could be doing all this shit without the championship. You know what I mean? It feels like she's got the belt, but she's not really champion still. Like, if that makes any sense. Because
I thought you were tired of Toni Storm.
And I was, but now she's not on my screen because she's home for a while. She's actually down here. So, you know what I mean? That's good. You know what I mean? Now I can like Toni Storm again. Hopefully she's back to normal and not this fucking... And if she's going to do that movie shit, can we go through the years at least? Can we go from 50s to 60s to 70s? Then we hit the 80s? Tell me that wouldn't be funny. And then the 90s? Why not try to do that?
Trust me, you wouldn't like it any better.
I know I wouldn't like it.
It's just a big case of be careful what you wish for.
Okay.
Here's Mariah. You put her over, and now she's the champion. So you single-handedly booked her into this spot, Jimmy, and now you don't even like it anymore.
I'm just bored, bro. You know what I mean? Look, I am fickle when it comes to her, but
fickle.
Look, everyone's giving me heat now, Vet. God damn it, man.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest hater, Zane. The biggest. Yeah,
all you had to do, all you had to say, Jimmy, was nothing. You just never had to put Mariah May over. But now that you did all that, it seems very ironic that you turned on her before anyone did. We're all just like, oh yeah, I guess Mariah May's all right. And you're like, it's kind of funny, isn't it?
I'm just bored of her now. It's the same shtick now, man. Like, do something else. Show me something. Yeah, she's funny and her little sexual, bullshit that she does with commentary and all that crap. I get it, but all the women are doing this shit in AEW, it feels like, at this point. Yeah, and it's cheap.
Well, let us know what you think of Mariah May here in the chat. And while you do that, we will move on to the next thing, which was supposed to be a Nigel McGuinness video, but they fucked it up. So then they played a Nigel McGuinness video, but then they fucked it up. And then the third time, they finally were able to get the whole video to play. So then we got a Nigel McGuinness video. And it was fine. I mean, it was fine. All right. Here's the part where the new owners are on their way to the ring. And they are, attacked by Private Party. And then they beat up Private Party. And then Commander comes out. Sorry, what's up?
You forgot to mention about Private Party earlier, and I just wanted to point that out because I was meant to bring it up too. How Private Party was saying, in particular, the one that moans, Isaiah Cassidy, is it that one? Whatever his name is. Mm-hmm. He goes, "I'm going to kill you, John. I swear to God, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you when I see you." Right. And then we come to this point, and
I glossed over all that just said they call out John Moxley because I wasn't going to write down all that stuff he said.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say because boy, did they get killed.
Yeah. Yeah. So Commander comes out and tries to fly at some people, but they shut him down. Didn't they kind of let Marina just beat up most of everybody by herself? Didn't they? It seemed like they were just
and she looked good. This is the best I've seen Shafir ever, bro. For real.
Good use of
I felt no, really, because that's the best way to showcase her right now. We all know she's extremely greener than green. I mean, really, she shouldn't be. By this point, she should have learned a thing or two. But for whatever reason, she seems to be a late developer when it comes to pro wrestling. And, she needs quite a bit of time. But the way they're using her right now, I think it works for her. And she suits this, whatever this is. I don't know what to call this group. You know what I mean? But again, I need some more context. Oh, yeah, the new owners. That's right. So the new owners, can we get a reason why they turned on Danielson at least?
They said he was too soft.
That's the reason? Like, really? Yeah. Too soft. Okay. That's not good enough. And can we also get a reason? What's going on with Yuta? Is he in or is he not? Like, you know what I mean?
He's too soft too.
And he is too soft. He cries. I mean, just get rid of the poor kid. You made him cry like a little baby. Anyway, I like.
Yeah. So anyway, they hit Isaiah with a hammer, and then Darby comes to try to save the day, and everybody, once they see Darby show up, they're like, "Let's get out of here." Or do they? I don't remember what happened. I just remember Darby showed up.
Yeah, they walked off. They pretty much walked off, and Darby got on the mic pretty much and was like, "John, get in the ring." Oh no, that's what happened. They were like two bulls or chicken fighting. Have you seen chicken fighting when they're circling, but they don't touch each other? Yeah. What the fuck was that? They were just circling each other. Like Moxley literally tosses him in the ring, as in Darby Allin, and then they just don't touch each other. They're just circling. And I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what the hell are they doing? Like, it looks stupid to me, man. They shouldn't have even gone to that point. They should have just left. They shouldn't have even gotten in the ring together, man. But they did.
We get a little Brooks Jensen video, and then we go to, and you know who that is, right? It's Jack Perry. I'm just saying that.
Yes. Okay. I know.
And then we get, here's an exciting match. We signed Ricochet, so we got to throw him in there. And who better to throw him in there with than?
Well, let me just.
Yeah. The Beast.
The Beast
himself.
Bro, the more I see Mortos, the more I fucking love him. Even though I've known him, as Taurus, whatever, the bull. Not the Beast, the bull. You know what I mean? But, dude, he's... you know what I love about this guy? He comes across as this type of guy that just... Even though we know he's going to lose, but he's going to be like, I'm getting my shit in, pendejo. You know what I mean? Before you pin me. I'm going to get all my shit in, and then you can pin me. You know what I mean? He always makes himself look really good. Even with the loss, he seems to... Don't see this match, Aaron. I don't care what you say. This match was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought they both had great chemistry. And funny enough, yes, Ricochet won, which I didn't like. Morto should have won. But whatever, Ricochet does get the win. But it entertained me, bro. I'm not going to lie.
Well, good. I mean, that is the point. If you bring in Ricochet, you would hope he entertains you.
Right.
But
and that's just something, because he never entertains me.
Mortos is he's the straw that stirs the drink a lot of times. There's so many great luchadors that can do amazing things, but without a base, they're not going to look nearly as good as they do. You need those guys like Mortos, like I would venture to say Hechicero too, because he doesn't do a lot of flying, but he works good with that sort of thing too. Yeah. So like, you need those guys to make the holograms of the world, and like all those guys to make them look good, and they do. But
absolutely, say what you want about these guys. You can say they're fucking jobbers or whatever the fuck, but those two you mentioned, Hechicero too, they can work, man. Like, and when I say they can work, you can put them against anybody, a flippy guy, a grounded guy, a plain wrestling guy, and they still know how to adjust to whoever they're wrestling. And that's what I like about these guys, dude. And that's why Mortos really impresses me every time, because the guy he's great at just adjusting, man, at whatever match. And he really hasn't put on since, in AEW, like he's just getting better and better and better. And I think the company sees that. They just don't know exactly what, though, to do with him. You know what I mean? Just yet. But they seem to have pushed him up the, upper mid-card area. That's for sure.
Well, he basically is a softly joined the Undisputed Kingdom, it seems like. But
and that's another problem I've got. But we'll get there.
It's just great. You just have a random Mortos in the Undisputed Kingdom. I like it. Everything else is random. Why not this? So yeah, but on the other hand of that, okay, we put over the Beast, but Ricochet in another match where it's like, I've seen all this. So like, what was he? What was this? I mean, maybe we shouldn't. Like personally, I look at Ricochet. Right. You know how I see Ricochet. I see him as the total package.
As a star,
he's not
bro. Absolutely
just a flippy guy. Like so many flippy guys are, they're just a flippy guy, and Ricochet's way more than just a flippy guy. But it just, for some reason, I seem to think that he's making comments about like, you guys ain't seen nothing yet, or I always hear Conan say you guys haven't even seen anything yet, and like he basically like he was on a leash in WWE, but now he's gonna be, and he does less now than he did in WWE. So he's either saving it for the right spot, which is smart, because he's only had these TV matches and his, Battle Royal Gauntlet, stupid thing, whatever that was that he debuted in. But like, he's only had a couple singles matches, so I could see you don't want to give away all your good stuff right away. But I would be interested, like, well, if Ricochet's been holding back, I sure would like to see what he's been holding back on. So hopefully he'll show us some of that at, Grand Slam or whatever.
And the thing is, I still think he's insecure about if he made the right move or not, because why are you arguing with all the marktards about it? If he was very, secured about his decision, he wouldn't even be arguing with these people. But for whatever reason, he decides to continue arguing with everybody. And you're right. I've seen all this before, a million times over. As a matter of fact, he was portrayed a lot better in WWE so far than what AEW portrayed. Right now, he's just there. There's nothing to him. Who's Ricochet in AEW? He's just Ricochet. That's it. Like, there's no context to him yet. But I think maybe you're onto something in terms, maybe saving himself. And you know what? I'll give it the benefit of the doubt up until Grand Slam, though, Vet. If by Grand Slam, I guess we've got to wait a week later to see.
Oh my God.
Yeah, see, and that's another thing.
His identity is a guy that wrestled Will Ospreay in 2016. That's his identity.
Yeah, in AEW, that's his identity. That's even sadder, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? In WWE, they don't even mention that shit. You know what I mean? But in AEW, yeah, that's his identity, which is bad which is bad for him. But you know what they're going to do? None of these guys are losing. They're going to do a double fucking, it's going to be a double down. They're going to do some high-flying shit in midair. They're going to collide and then double down, 10
double
count,
down, and everybody will give them a standing ovation.
A standing ovation. Mark my words. You heard it here first. It's going to be a friggin' double down of sorts. No one's going to win the match next week. It just won't, because really, you don't want, not next week. It's after Grand Slam the match is happening, right?
I don't even know anymore.
I think he didn't give a specific. He just said after Grand Slam, right? Just for the record.
Yeah, whatever that means.
He's going, yeah, whatever that means. So I don't know what that means. So forget it. You're right. The point is, but when it does happen, I think there won't be a winner.
Okay, there's the prediction. No winner.
If Ospreay doesn't have the belt, has the belt still, by the time they wrestle.
Okay, so speaking of no winners, it's us, because we have to watch a Hangman video next, and then we get Tony Schiavone in the ring, who brings out Hangman to talk to, and right when it looks like Hangman is about to turn on Tony Schiavone, of all people, then here comes Jeff Jarrett to save the day, and then security shows up, and all of Jeff Jarrett's friends show up, and we get a kind of a schmoz or whatever. So,
hey, I like this tense sort of Jarrett. I didn't like the Hangman. I'm just blah 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 when I hear Hangman talk. But I like Jarrett, even though Jarrett's going to get his ass handed to him. It's kind of cool seeing him react the way he did, like he wanted a piece of Hangman. But he's just going to be in the losing, column. But ain't he great?
Ha ha!
There we go. That's it.
Okay. Ricochet, we're back to him. It's actually Will Ospreay in the back, but he basically, Ricochet recites a poorly mic'd up monologue to Will Ospreay. I couldn't hear half of it because I felt like it was the TV camera picking it up and nothing else. So I was like, what is he saying? Something? I can't hear him. I couldn't hear him. He said stuff.
He basically alluded to that, he's known, they're basically for that match that they had, dude. Mm-hmm. And he wants to show everybody that there's more to him than that match, essentially. Mm-hmm. So essentially, he pretty much said, "Well,
forget the past 5 years. That never happened.
Forget it, right?
It's just that one match in New Japan Best of Super Juniors."
And how can you ever forget it? And remember the heat that match got? I mean,
the posing.
It was either positive or negative.
Flipping and posing.
Flipping and posing and fucking posing some more. You know what I mean? There's a lot of posing going on. But yeah, it was memorable for the right or wrong reasons.
Well, we were talking to Will Ospreay because it's time for the main event. And that is the United Empire versus the EVPs.
Yep. Good match. One too many super kicks, but in this fucking match, bro. I wish I counted it because there would have been at least 30. It felt like, man, I'm telling you, at least. But it was a typical look. It was a good match. No real psychology. I mean, Takeshita kind of tried to play the psychology card with Okada, but it was just, it was a fun match. Yeah, well, I said tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because he always wanted Okada. You know what I mean? Because he always wanted to put his and no, I'm not friends with fucking Ospreay, and I don't trust Ospreay and whatever. All that bullshit. That's why I said tried to play the psychology card, but he's still learning. Yeah, I'll leave him at that. He's still learning, but at least he tried. But the point is, he just had the eyes on Okada. It was always about Okada for him. And I'm, in some ways, I'm looking forward to it. But is Okada ever going to put him over? I doubt it.
No.
So, and why should he? But I'm just saying, you want to make him.
Well, you say like
it would make him with Okada.
They wouldn't do it. It's not that he wouldn't do it.
I don't know. Who knows? But still, good match, fun for what it was. But just one too many knee falls, one too many super kicks. It was a typical. What these guys bring to the table, except for Okada. You know what I mean? He's just part of this fucking, rinky dink, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Well, it gets him some. Gets him some ring time anyway.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. And he's over, man, with the fans still. He even done one of these ones, and then wound it down. So
he put it back in. Yeah.
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 So,
man. There you go. That was the match. I forget who won. Who won it?
No, it was the United Empire, which I feel like they're trolling because suddenly they played the United Empire music and even had it on the Titantron.
Right.
And you could see, what's his name? Don Callis was like, it's not United, it's the Callis family, damn it, But whatever, they played the United Empire shit and cool, I guess. Yeah. But I still think I feel Fletcher's going to turn, bro. Like on Ospreay, he's got it, right? I mean, where's this going? Them winning the tag bout's cool, but this has got to be leading to somewhere. But then again, maybe it's leading to nowhere. It's AEW, doesn't matter. Just whatever happens, you know what I mean? Nothing might happen.
Let's do another angle where somebody turns on somebody and then gives them the same speech that they always give them.
Yeah, I was best friends with you, bruv. And you turn on me, bruv. and then Ricochet comes out like a puma, and then anyway, we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, that's Dynamite. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Ring of Honor had nothing on it. I was skimmed through it and I was like, bleh. Rampage though. Yeah. Rampage though. We're kicking it off hot with the Ring of Honor champion, Mark Briscoe, versus Big Business Bad Apple bounty hunter Brian Bakeith. So, these guys go at it. I mean, technically, this could be considered a proving ground match. I don't think they mentioned it, but yeah.
Technically.
So they had this match, and of course, Mark Briscoe wins after a while, and then afterwards, the Learning Tree comes out, and they jump Mark Briscoe, and then Orange comes out, runs everybody off. So no, he doesn't run everybody off. I think they beat up him and Orange. I don't know. I should really start writing the results down on my notes because I didn't
watch it. So
I keep thinking I'll remember. I keep thinking I'll remember, and then I'm like, wait, what? Who? But I guess it doesn't really matter because if it did matter, I would remember. I wouldn't need my notes.
Right. So it doesn't really matter. In other words, from now on, I'm gonna watch Rampage for for you too, man. I should watch it.
Don't hurt yourself.
It's just
don't hurt yourself. The next match, though, was Wheeler Yuta versus the Butcher. And this was the same kind of thing they did last time he had a match where the guy just like slaps him until he goes into a rage and then beats him. So he started, it's just great. He won this match with the cattle mutilation. Okay. Butcher tapped out to cattle mutilation. So I got that finished.
I'm supposed to believe that?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, come on, it's the Butcher. I mean,
I know, but
okay, then we get an MXM collection promo, and this explains how they stole Max Caster's jacket, and they're going to give it a makeover. So that's why you saw what you saw on Collision. It started here.
Okay, that makes sense. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I love these guys. Like I said, the more I see him, I just find it funny. This is Vince's creation, and it's starting to kind of flourish in another promotion.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird when you look at it like that because Vince literally created these guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, next is a match. It's Harley Cameron, the great Harley Cameron with Saraya versus Hikaru Shida in just a match. As Jimmy gets some refreshments here off the camera.
Yeah. Sorry,
and
my bad.
I just wrote down awful. This was awful.
I saw the highlights on Collision. First of all, I don't know what the hell's going on with Shida and her look these days. It's almost like she's not wearing pants, if you know what I mean.
This was. I know I've been joking around calling Shida fat, which is funny, and I've also been talking about why do I have to watch Harley Cameron offense? Like, why am I watching her beat people up and people selling for it?
Yeah, well, that's confusing, but it is.
I don't understand it, but it's really bad. Like, I'll give you an example because I saw this and I was like, I can't believe what I'm watching right now. I've never seen this before. So you know how in a wrestling match you do the spot where like the manager will like distract the babyface and the babyface will go over and then, right? Well, we've all seen that, but have you ever seen it where the babyface gets the heel, picks him up in a vertical suplex, and then the heel jumps up on the apron, and then the babyface looks over and then puts the person down without suplexing him and goes over to... Like, just finish the suplex. What do you care if someone's on the apron, bro? What is going on here?
That, but that's funny, you know?
Who came up with that?
Oh, I don't know, man. That sounds like a Harley thing to do. The girl's a character, bro. I mean, come on. I mean, she's an idiot, but she's a character. You got to give her that.
Who, Harley Cameron?
Yeah.
Well, what does she have to do with that? She was just up in the air getting suplexed. It wasn't like she did anything. She was just vertical in the air, and then Sheeta puts her down gently to go over and yell at Saraya. No, you don't understand. This is not Saraya versus Sheeta. This is Harley Cameron versus Sheeta. The woman who just challenged for the TBS championship is having to go 50-50 with Harley Cameron. And Harley Cameron, all she did was not get suplexed here. So we can't even give her the credit of being a character. Now, Cold Blooded is saying, I know it's unpopular, but I love Harley as a personality. She's a female Santino. Well, that's fine, except if you're pushing Santino like he's Seth Rollins or something. Bro, Harley Cameron is she is not, that's not the role. If she's a personality, she should be the manager. They're making her the wrestler. Saraya's the wrestler, and she's managing.
Right. Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know what to tell you with that. That's weird. But I'm assuming Saraya.
And could she do this any more times?
Well, we do see on the later on that she can she can get a mouthful. What's up with that? Is she doing it on purpose, or is that just a habit, you think?
She's doing it on purpose. I think she thinks it's going to get over.
But why? Like that's what I would ask her. Like, why it makes you think?
She tried to think of something nobody else is doing.
Okay. Cool.
Who else bites that thumb?
I don't know what to say that. I mean, shit. If that's the case, that's the case. But what I do like about her, she's just a clown, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I can say. And I say that in a positive way, not in the negative way. You know what I mean? I just
Chelsea Green doesn't have 10-minute matches, but this match was only about 8 minutes, and it felt like 15.
She's learning, Vid. Come on, maybe she's trying to learn.
Learn quicker.
I mean, come on. She's got
learn in 3 to 4 minutes and don't get any offense in. But anyway, yeah. I bet there's something in her. So basically what happens is Sheeta does win. And then that's when Saraya jumps in and they start beating her up, of course, because, they got to do the heat back, the deadliest move in wrestling, the heat back. And then Jamie Hayter comes in and runs her off. And then she gives Sheeta her kendo stick back. So, Jamie Hayter and Hikaru Shida are best buds now. And then Saraya gets on the mic and is like, I hate you. I want to match with you at Grand Slam. Saraya rules match.
That kills me, bro. We'll get to that.
I'm not making this up. We're getting a Saraya rules match. But you already know that because you watch, again, the Collision thing.
I know the rules, too.
Okay. Here's a tag match we got on Rampage. The Ultimate Team of Roderick Strong and I'll let you say it again.
So Roderick Strong and
who could his partner be that you would need a roadcaster?
Wait.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, him.
Love Mortos. He's main event Mortos from now on, not the Beast. Main event Mortos. He's everywhere, bro.
Yeah. Main event Mortos. Well, anyway, this wasn't exactly the main event because they faced Joe Keys and Marcus Mathers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Keys.
Joe Keys. All right, let's move on. Deonna Purrazzo has wine and she has friends. Friends being
yes,
Taya Valkyrie.
She does. Dude, what's up with Taya, man?
What's up with it? The main event, a 4-way match with Nick Wayne versus Kip Sabian versus Lio Rush versus Rocky Romero. So you just know that, like, I'm not watching this. You know that. If you see this list of names,
dream match, bro.
Lio Rush versus 3 guys I don't ever want to see.
We got the Fly against the Yasuka, whatever they call him, Romero.
Yeah, he at least gets the pin by Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne pins Romero, and then Kip Sabian's on the outside because he just is on the outside, and then Nick Wayne leans over the rope and spits right on him. Just like what you said earlier.
Wow. I was only fucking around. I didn't know that. Damn. What the fuck, man? I was only joking. Like, wow. That's weird, dude.
No,
Whatever, cool, I
he did a
guess.
Bret Hart to Vince McMahon 97, bro.
I have tour 97.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to call it.
Spit
The
on
Hub
that
Tour
thing. You know what I
97.
mean?
Spit on that thing. Have you seen the
Mm-hmm.
memes of that? Where Bret Hart is spitting at Vince McMahon? And it's her spitting, though, at Vince McMahon. And she's like, spit on that thing. And Vince, like,
Yep.
kind of funny.
Yep.
Lab Rat brings up a
Kip getting
point.
hazed on TV.
It feels like
how's that to treat a day one AEW guy?
Damn, bro. Yeah. I mean, doesn't
day
it
one
look
match
like that,
one
though? Bro,
I don't know.
You know what? He might be onto something. It feels like he's getting hazed on public television, like on live television. It's weird, dude. Like whatever he's done. I mean, I don't know. Like he doesn't do. I don't know. I don't know the guy.
Well, think about like
care,
this.
But
think about like this. You've been watching this sort. I mean, if you see it, you see the patriarchy or whatever constantly shitting on Kip Sabian for no reason, right? But this would be the first time that I can recall where he has just the absolute carte blanche to get his hands on one of them because it's a fatal four-way match. So not only is he in this match with Nick Wayne, but technically there'd be no DQs, so he could do whatever he wanted to him. And they just had like a regular match. It was almost like nothing had ever happened up to this point. So I really don't know what Kip's deal is, but they're not making the most out of this storyline for whatever the reason is that it's happening.
You know what he feels like? JD McDonough trying to join the Judgment Day a little bit.
That felt more important.
But yeah, that's what I was going to say. WB did it with much better, execution compared to whatever they're trying to do here. Because it's either going to go somewhere or absolutely nowhere. They could just drop it and you forgot that it was even happening. Do you know what I mean? But for whatever reason, I guess they're trying to tell a story, but nothing's changed. It's the same thing, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just
wait a minute.
Wait a minute. So.
I know what's going to happen with Kip. He's going to be the reason why Christian becomes AEW champion. I said it.
There it is.
Or it's going to cost him one way or the other. It has to be, bro. Surely.
All we can do is tune in and find out. Cold Blood says, "Where's Penelope Ford? She is probably left him when her. She probably left him because he was just getting bitched out all the time, and that turned her off."
Look, I don't even know why she's with him. Honestly, I mean, I was surprised that she hooked up with him. I'm just saying.
Still a trade up from Joey Janela.
Yeah, I know. What the hell, bro? What's wrong with this girl, man? Like,
man,
I've heard stories about Janela. I don't know how true they are. Bad, yeah, Penelope.
All right.
Jeez.
Well, it's time for the collision now, so let's get to it.
Oh yes.
Bunkhouse Brawl to start us off. Yeah, we're already. It's like Tony Schiavone says we got kendo sticks, and I said this match is disavowed. I ain't watching it. Jimmy, take it from here.
Really, you didn't watch it? Well, you know what?
You know my thing with kendo sticks, Jimmy.
I know. Hey, I agree. I usually hate this, and everybody bled in this match, except for maybe Guevara. And boy, was there spots that these guys killed themselves, bro. Especially Sammy Guevara, dude. I don't know how he's walking by the end of this match, but there was blood all the way around. There was weaponry everywhere. There was chaos. It was a fun mess. Not a great match, just a fun mess. Like I was into it just for the plain stupidity of it. I need to it's like you said, a la carte, right? You just go with it. You know what I mean? Like, and for what it was fine. It went for probably a little too long, but nevertheless, Dustin and Guevara do end up retaining the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships because that's what this was about. The Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. When did they win the tag belts? I knew they were. Oh no, I remember now. Because they're trios champions too, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Wait. Who's the third guy then?
No, it's Dustin. No, it's Dustin and the Von Erichs.
Oh, they're trios.
And then champions? Dustin and Sammy.
Okay, all right. I don't recall seeing him and the Von Erichs teaming up. It must have happened on Ring of Honor, clearly. But yeah, look, it was fun match, but a lot of fuckery going on. The cameramen, the producers need to do something, man. They're shit, bro. They never cut away to you see where they're blading, bro. You know when they're laying down and you see their hand moving like quick, cut your fucking forehead. They always catch that shit. They got to stop doing that, man. Just pan away to something else.
Is that
Stop
a
like
rib?
catching it. It's not a rib. It's actually I'm being serious.
No, I mean, is it a rib on them to show it?
Maybe. I mean, can they be that dumb? Maybe it is a rib. That's what I mean, Vet. Sometimes I think does this company? It's a parody of professional wrestling. It's the only way I can put it. It comes across as a legit parody of wrestling, which is a parody already of fucking a real fight, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
really think about it, it's
Well,
a
it shouldn't
parody
be
of
a
a
parody,
parody.
but it is.
But it is, right.
Which leads me into Aaron's question. He says, "Vet is a former wrestler. What is the deal with AEW's obsession to have blood on every show?" Well, let me tell you, Aaron, you don't have to be a former wrestler to answer that question. The answer is, I don't know. But I can guess, like, okay,
Yes,
WWE
please.
doesn't really use blood as much anymore. If they do, it's because somebody got hard weight or something, so you just get like a little bit of blood. So when you're in competition with somebody or you feel like you are, you try to offer something that the competitors don't offer. That's just a normal thing in business. Like, well, we have this. So if AEW is like, hey, we're the guys that, you know, we're like a throwback to ECW and Memphis and all this other stuff. We'll have the bunkhouse brawls and we'll have blood in these matches, or we'll have these crazy cage matches, non-sanctioned, lights out, yada 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 yada. We do all these things that WWE doesn't do. Okay, well, yeah, some people might be into that, but even those people that like that, if that becomes the standard, then people that like hardcore wrestling will just get bored because they see it all the time. And then, now it's like, okay, well, what else do you got? It was like what Jimmy's asking me earlier about, are Hangman and Swerve idiots? Well, they might be, but they also feel like they have to top themselves because they don't want people to get bored with whatever they're doing. That the whole thing is like, as a wrestler, I guess you're afraid. I can answer this as a wrestler. Maybe you're just afraid that the crowd won't be entertained or you'll be bored. So you do what you can to try to make it exciting. But even if you just
That's
have
not
too much,
realistic.
too much manufactured excitement is just hot shotting, and then you burn people out, and then people get
And they
bored with
were
stuff
burnt.
they should enjoy.
They
So
got burnt out by the end of it, bro. For real. They
yeah,
actually did.
dude. Okay, so like we have this bunkhouse match, right? Well, we
Hmm?
just saw Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander have a match that's basically the same as this, right?
Right. That's why I put the
So
ECW
we,
theme at the start of the
yeah,
show.
exactly. So we can't even go 2 weeks without getting garbage cans in the ring. Like, can you just?
Nope. Nope. Sorry. No bueno.
Yeah.
Simple, bro.
And here's
It's,
another question. I know that there has to be a yes answer to this because the Undisputed Kingdom were champions within the last 12 months at some point.
yeah.
But
Ring of Honor tag champs.
I was going to say, have they ever won a match? I never see them win a match
That's a good
ever.
question. That's a great question. I don't.
Somehow they won belts, but
Wow.
I don't remember them ever winning a match.
I'm sure they have, obviously,
Sure
because
they
like you
have. They
said, they
must
won
have.
belts. Right. But you know what? You're right. You know what? I can't remember the last time they won. But then I'll say that that's a good thing on them. Somehow, if they haven't been winning as constantly as we think they haven't, it hasn't really affected them, has it? And then
They
again,
keep
everyone's
getting
indifferent to
used.
them. Right, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, that's interesting. It's a good call. They're just always there, bro. They're on every show as well. That's another thing. They just always have to be around it. Sometimes I just wanted to go away for a little bit. You know what I mean? Stay in Ring of Honor for a little bit. The Ring of Honor originals is kind of loud.
Yeah, I just want to know who's. I know Zane Vicious is going to say he is, but I mean, a serious answer, not a troll answer. Who really wants to watch Matt Taven and Mike Bennett? Like, whoever, when they come on the screen, you're like, yes, finally. I just want to know. It's okay if you do. I'm not asking rhetorically. I'm polling you. Who genuinely, Zane Vicious, I said genuinely, who really wants to watch Matt Taven and Mike Bennett in 2024? Right. It's okay. It's okay if the answer is yes. Just taking a poll. While we wait for the results, our next match is going to be the. Oh no, this is a promo first. It's Hologrameration getting interviewed with Lexi, and then the Premier Athletes come in, and they're like, hey, we need an equalizer. And then Rocky, the word of the day is equalizer, and Rocky Romero comes in. So, yikes. You're trying to turn me against Mark Briscoe here by adding Rocky Romero to this.
I feel bad for him. I know. And he's like, when he said his nickname, the Japanese nickname, I'm like, fuck. Here he comes. And then, damn it. But that's all right because we'll get to that. We'll get to that because we've got a mega main event, bro.
Mega.
The biggest super main event ever.
All right, let's look at some of the results. Let's see. Revamp Wrestling. Hell no in all caps. Blaze Nick, never. Chabello says, Ring of Honor, yes. AEW, hell yeah. I said no troll answers. Cold-blooded, pass on the Kingdom. Don't poll people. Poll on a poll. Whoever climbs up and gets the correct answer down wins the poll. Yeah,
don't poll on the poll match.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that means. Can I just say this is what Tony thinks every time?
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
There you go. He said it.
I guarantee you, if Vince Russo didn't have like a cottage industry built around making fun of Tony Khan, we would be seeing poll matches in AEW. But just out of pure spite, man. He's not booking any because he's like, yeah, he's not gonna. Anyway,
I guarantee you, he would have absolutely spammed the poll matches, bro, for sure. I agree with you.
Yeah, but
because it's Vince's thing, he's not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm. Saint Vicious says, just because I root for people no one else does, I'm trolling. Yes, you exposed yourself when you said Mike Adamle was awesome. I saw it. Don't try to say anything anymore. I caught you. You took it too far. You took it beyond the realm of believability. So now the jig is up. Yeah.
Oh, damn
but anyway,
band down.
They tried to do a DMD thing. Okay. And then we get Lexi with the Dark Order, and then Darby comes back there and like gets in Evil Uno's face and fires him up. And
well,
there you go.
That, once we get there, I must admit, it took me off guard. It caught me by surprise, but we'll get there also.
Try to make us look at Darby making us care, or trying to make us care about Evil Uno. It might have worked. It might have worked.
It might have.
But before we get there,
I'm telling you, it might have. Right.
Yeah, before we get there, it's the Conglomogram versus the Premier Athletes.
I hate this.
And Nigel McGuinness is like,
I can't even say it.
Premier is like, Premier Athletes are trying to expunge their, whatever. And I was like, somebody needs to teach Nigel McGuinness the meaning of expunged, because I do not think it does not mean what I think he thinks it means, or whatever. However that saying goes from Princess Bride.
I'm sure he's trolling, but Nigel,
I don't know.
Kills me, man.
I'm not sure. I think he really doesn't know what the word means because he uses it a lot. But basically, if anybody's not aware, expunge means to erase from existence. Simply winning a wrestling match does not erase your losses to that person in previous wrestling matches. That's not how it works. The records are what they are, and AEW does keep records because it's a sports-based presentation. So, anyway.
Yeah, sports-based.
All right, well, you know who wins this match. I mean, it's not like the Premier Athletes. They definitely don't win any matches. It's not a question like with Undisputed Kingdom. We know they don't.
On 3 vet, you know what we say, right?
Oh, what? What do we say?
Athletes rule.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that because I've never listened to them, so I didn't get that gimmick. But
damn it.
Yeah, yeah, because it's like it's not their fault. It's not the Premier Athletes' fault that I ignore them. It's like AEW's fault because I already know what to expect as soon as they walk out there. So I know there's no point in listening to Mark Sterling's promo. There's no point in watching their match. It's just I already know what's going to happen. The only point to watching this match is that, you know, you have Hologram and you have Mark Briscoe was in it, right? I think he was, right?
Yeah.
Or was he not?
No, he's in the main event. Oh, wait, I could be wrong. No, he was in the match. He was. My bad. He was in this match. You know what's annoying about Hologram, though? Have you noticed a trend as he's walking out? He turns on his little hologram like gimmick. Like, but in front of everybody. Like, why couldn't you turn it on before you begin to walk out? Instead, he's like, lights out, and then it turns into green, and it's like, oh, God, bro. Like, come on, man. Why couldn't you just do that, a minute earlier so he's ready to go,
Yeah.
Well, Zane's got an interesting question, and I'm going to ask you this through Zane. What sport is AEW based on, Vet?
Professional wrestling.
Hey, Diz, what's going on?
It's loosely based. It's inspired. AEW is inspired by a true professional wrestling.
Man.
Based on true events. Yeah.
Yeah, based on true events. Exactly. That's the best part. But Lisa thinks Bloodsport. Does that mean she's on something?
Has everybody gone out and watched Bloodsport yet? I gave you guys an assignment. When I found out that some of you had not watched Bloodsport, Jimmy.
What? No,
some of these people in this chat right now.
Stop it. Who hasn't watched Bloodsport? Are you kidding?
Apparently some people. And I told them.
Kickboxer is in the same
No. You don't have to watch that. Just Bloodsport.
All right.
And it's on, and I know you're all on YouTube because I see you. You're right here on YouTube right now. And Bloodsport is on YouTube free with ads.
Is it?
So there's no excuse. Really? You can watch it. Yes. You have to watch a little ad, but whatever. Pull out the power of the phone. And then when the ad's over, watch the movie again. What is Bloodsport?
No, Aaron. No, Aaron, please. God, you're in your 40s, bro. You gotta know Bloodsport. I understand a 20-year-old might not know it, but
in a way, Jimmy, I'm excited because this is a beautiful thing. It's like I get to live vicariously through people discovering it. You know, like it's like wow. I just assumed everybody had already seen it, but now it's like I get to.
I would have thought, dude. You don't even have to ask me. I'm on the other side of the planet, and I watched Bloodsport when it came out, for crying out loud.
He says, I'm an Israeli. What is that? Oh, they don't have movies in Israel? Everybody, come on. That's not an excuse.
Oh, man. I love you, Aaron,
no
man.
excuse.
I love how fucking... What? You haven't watched it either, G-Ball? Come on.
Oh, no.
Maybe we need to do a watch-along for these guys.
No good movies? No good movies in Israel? Ready to Rumble the series? All right.
Actually, Aaron, do you know Jean-Claude Van Damme? I just want to ask you that question. Surely you know who that is, right? Or Duke or Dux. Duke's. What's his last name?
Dukes.
Oh yeah, Frank Dukes. That's
like put up your Dukes, right?
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah. Frank.
Come on, guys. All right. Anyway, we're enough sidetracking. The hologram team wins. But actually, hologram didn't get the win this time. I think Mark Briscoe got the pin. So,
yep,
a little different.
That's true.
If
it's not from the 80s, we do not have it.
It is from the 80s. It's from 1988. Yeah. Or, yeah.
89, 88. Yeah, something like that.
It's 88. MXM Collection. They teased the jacket that they stole. They've now bedazzled it or made it over or whatever they've done. And they tease like they're going to show it. And then they're like, no, we're not going to show it here. So they said they'll show it at whatever. Grand Slam, 5th anniversary. I don't know. I don't know what matches are going to be on which show anymore. I'm lost.
Oh no, did they announce it? I don't think they even announced where.
They said where they were going to unveil it, but I forgot.
Grand Slam, I think there has to be.
Let's hope.
You know, they would be like, we're going to give you a grand slam.
Yeah,
something like that.
So.
But hey, MXM, love him.
Okay. So, okay, next is
Rob's daddy.
Is that Rob's?
Yes.
Yes, it is. It's his dad. Next is Mariah May versus Lady Frost. And Jimmy, Lady Frost is now from Erie, Pennsylvania. Well, that's not a pun about being cold.
It's not. But this was bad, bro. This match, they had no chemistry at all, bro. This is probably the worst match I've seen in a while when it comes to Frosty.
Are you sure it's Mariah not just May because you hate Mariah May now? Are you just burying her because you hate her?
I think they're overexposing her a little bit, dude. Like too much of her. Like she's the around too much.
She's literally the champ.
Yeah, but has she put the belt on the line against anybody?
Yeah, Lady Frost.
I mean, was that for the championship? I don't think it was. No,
it was a proving ground match. No, it's no, title eliminator. When it's AEW, it's a title eliminator. Yeah. When it's Ring of Honor, it's a proving ground,
bro. I fucking hate that. But yeah, Mariah May and the Storm Zero that she delivered on Frost, it just looks like she's so close. I know they're pros, but the way it's executed, you know how it's kind of that quick sort of execution. It's just a papa sort of thing. The way she does the pole driver. And yeah, like, see, thank you, Liz. I know I've been putting her over, but now
Mariah
I'm not.
May?
Hey, Mariah May. I like it.
I'll leave her alone. Anyway, she's the champ. Respect your champion.
Whatever.
Acknowledge your tribal glamour.
No, and I hate the glamour thing. I think of Glamazon when I hear it. But anyway, I don't like that Storm Zero, the way she executes it compared to the originator in Tony Storm. Because I feel like she's gonna hurt someone, man, the way it's done. Even when Tony shouldn't really. I just think that move shouldn't even be used like that, man. Just do a normal pole drive for crying out loud.
This fucking guy.
And even that, it's risky. Just come on.
This fucking guy.
Yeah, she's gorgeous, Nick, but that's it, bro. For now.
Pile drive everybody.
I think without makeup, she wouldn't be that hot, though. If you look at her face carefully, I don't know.
Yeah. I wrote down somebody needs to. Not only do they need to teach Nigel McGuinness what expunged means, they also need to teach him what demure means. Unless he's doing that meme that kids do from TikTok, but I'm not really sure. But he called Mariah May demure, which she definitely is not fit the actual definition of that word.
Did he mean it in that context, though? Do you think?
He like I said, he's either using it wrong, like he did with expunged, or he's referencing the TikTok meme. But
I'll go with the latter.
Yeah, Nigel McGuinness, the TikTok guy. Yeah. So we get a package on Yuka and May, and then we get Lexi with Willow, and then here comes Deanna and Taya, and they offer some protection to somebody for the match. So like Deanna's trying to do she's trying to do an Italian gangster thing. She's trying to be Tony D'Angelo.
I did see this, but this is when, for some reason, every time I see her now, like when it comes to Deanna Purrazzo, it's just all I'm hearing is blah, 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 blah. And that's it. That's all I'm hearing. I'm just looking, but it's just blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't help but look at Taya and looking at her thinking, man, is she looking like a dude out of nowhere? I mean, no offense. She's looking very manly, dude. Is she hitting the testosterone or something? What's going on there, man?
I don't know. She looks like she's gotten in some shape, so that's good.
Yeah, she's in shape, but like, I don't know, man. I just feel like
she looked and wrestled like a couch when she was in NXT. So at least now she's like back down to a fighting weight.
The original OG Monet, Frankie Monet. Remember the name? She should use that to, Mercedes Monet. They could have been called the Monets.
Hey.
Yeah.
And where was she this week?
Where has she been these last 2 weeks, Vet?
For this money, you better show up.
Money. What do you think Sammy Guevara's been on our TV for the last 2 weeks, bro?
This is his chance. He's sneaking in while she's not around.
That's
bro, get
exactly
over
right,
it,
bro. Yeah, I'm just saying.
All right, Acclaim freestyle promo. What'd you think?
Bad, very bad. There's a reason why they've taken the mic off you, bro. Stop trying to do it. It's almost like you can't help it. Yeah, he's got the itch. He has to fucking rhyme, but this rhyme was corny as fuck. He just doesn't have it, dude. He can't rap, can't rhyme. Just shut up already. And what are they talking about scissoring when it's MXM? There's going to be all sorts of... They'll love scissoring. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to love scissoring in this match.
It's the ultimate counter. Finally, scissors don't work on these opponents, you know?
Not on these guys. Trust me, they won't. I hope MXM do beat the hell out of what are they called again? See, I forgot their name already.
Well, then let's move on. Let's move on then. Next is Darby versus Uno.
Great match.
Here's the question. Did we care about Uno? Was Darby that good?
Yes.
He 100%. Did it.
And you know what? Psychology in this match was chef's kiss. Loved it, bro. This match told the story from what we saw earlier to this match. I didn't think I was going to like it. I didn't expect for it to be the way it was, but god damn it, yes it did, and it made me care, and I don't care about Uno, right? And it's not even about me even caring. The point is the psychology aspect of the match and the lead up to that and the way they pulled it off in the end was top notch, dude. You can't deny it. Anyone that tells me otherwise is tripping.
Aaron Ben Shlomo is tripping. But don't worry, he hasn't seen Bloodsport, so he can't be trusted sometimes.
Jesus Christ. Am I wrong? Am I saying... nope. Honestly, tell me.
Well, not to me.
Oh, good.
I mean, I just was like... I basically... How do I put this? I want to give you the short version.
I'm glad
I wish
you agree. That's
I could... I wish I had... Even as much as I don't like watching AEW...
Right.
I kind of don't really like watching any wrestling anymore. It's kind of a chore for me. But because of all you guys, I want to come on here and put on a show every week with Jimmy or Ray or Brandon or all the people that I work with. I want to put on a show for you guys because you support us and I want to be there for whatever you guys need. So I watch these shows, and because of scheduling and everything like that, I can't just I kind of have to cram these shows in. So I feel like I kind of half-ass the review sometimes because not only is it not worth talking about, but even if there's something I want to talk about, sometimes I have to gloss over it just because in order to finish watching Collision by the time that we end up clicking record, I got to speed through a lot of it. So I would have really liked to take my time and enjoy this match. But even speeding through the match of watching Darby Allin on double speed and watch this match with Uno, I could still feel how good of a match it was. So
it's good, man.
Yeah, I've been telling you guys that Darby is, top in my book since day one of AEW, or as long as I've been covering it, whatever I've covered of it. He continues to be that guy. The only problem with Darby is not a problem with him, but it's like he's definitely on the much smaller side. So there's too many other guys in the company that are on his size level, and there can only be so many. There can only be like a very couple of people like that can be this size and be believable. So if he was the only guy that looked like him, then he'd be even better. But because there's so many dudes like Lil Brooks Jensen and others that get pushed, it's like that hurts him, but it's not his fault. There's nothing he can do about that. So I wish.
But continue on.
I was just gonna say I wish that that wasn't the case, but it is. So with the a la carte method, Darby Allin is always on the menu for me. and I wish that they had more and better stuff for him, but we take what we can get.
But in saying that, he understands who he is, and we've said this a million times, and that's what makes him stand out of all the little, dudes. That's why he wrestles the way he does. I know it's reckless, but he needs to somehow sort of make himself stand out from the rest. And that's the only, he's believable because of the way he wrestles. He's the only smaller guy that I can let my, what's it called? Oh, man, I'm forgetting when we're live. Sometimes I forget the simple words, man.
Suspension of disbelief.
Suspension of disbelief, right? He's one of the few guys at his size that I can be that way with because of the way he wrestles and the way he launches his body at everybody. It looks like it does damage. You know what I mean? So he understands who he is. That's his psychology aspect of telling a story in the match by the way he wrestles. But I think Darby has grown so much as a performer in the last 2-3 years, dude. Especially the last 2 years, I think he has improved so much, man. And this match is a great example of it, man. Yeah, I don't give a shit about Uno. I know none of us give a shit about Uno. And the thing is, next week this match is not even going to matter, unfortunately. But
on this night,
something right on this night, it mattered. You know what I mean? And I cared. And like Cold Blooded said, no shit, it really was the match of the night, match of the week, I dare say. As a matter of fact, this it was a chef's kiss in every aspect. It told the story in the ring. They killed it, bro.
That's why you have to watch, because you never know what's going to be the thing, right? It may not be the thing that's got the most hype. It could just be a throwaway match in the middle of a collision. But if you saw it, you'd be happy you did. As to Labrat's question of whether they're trying to make Uno, no, it was more just getting something for Darby, like giving him something to do to give him a win. It's the same way, instead of Lance Archer this time, it was just Evil Uno. It's just, that's the only difference.
Well, he made me believe, you know what, this guy is a bad man, bro. Like, in a way, the way he was wrestling, he looked 100 times better than Lance Archer, I dare say. There you go. Right. The way he worked the match told me he understood pro wrestling, actually, for once. I've never seen this side. So where was this, Uno? Do more of this, bro.
I mean, Jesus. I remember I'll just say this and then we can go on to the next thing. But I remember these guys were like, him and the other guy, Grayson, were the Super Smash Brothers, right? And they were Smash Brothers, right? I didn't see them do that, but I remember when they were the only, one of the few tag teams in AEW, and when AEW first started. And when AEW first started, all the tag team guys, like the Young Bucks and whoever else, they were just doing those kind of matches that those guys do. And the Dark Order, just them two, the Smash Brothers, were trying to do a tag team match the way you normally see. They were the only guys trying to have a normal traditional tag team match with psychology and tag teams. But instead of just 2 guys or 4 guys getting in the ring and doing all these moves and burying the ref, they were trying to have tag team matches back then. But, pandemic, all this stuff, it just sort of, they kind of got away from that. And then Grayson got deported or whatever, and then he came back and then got deported again or whatever happened. So Uno's just been like a man without a country, just goofing off this whole time, but because he's friends with the Young Bucks. But I know those guys right there. Yeah, I know those guys had some psychology. Yeah, they did stupid stuff too, but at least they could work a normal tag team match if they felt like it. So absolutely. I know he had it in him, but it's been a while since he had to drag it out. So he did for this.
Bro. What do you mean a while? Yeah, since probably the Smash Brothers days, like you said. Back in the Ring of Honor days of them being the Super Smash Brothers. They were different then. They became goofy now. But damn it, man, if no one believes us in saying it, go check it out, please. If you haven't seen it, trust me, watch the match and pay attention to it. You'll enjoy it if you look at it for what they're telling you and what they're doing, man.
Right after you finish Bloodsport, go put on Darby's match. All right. Renee is with Jeff and Karen from Wednesday. This was actually from Wednesday, supposedly. Jeff Jarrett cuts a heated promo and he challenges Hangman to a lumberjack strap match at Grand Slam.
What's a lumberjack strap match?
Well, you see, it would be like a strap match with one important difference. All the lumberjacks have straps. So if you fall outside the ring, they're going to whip you.
So everyone, did they say that? So everyone's going to have a strap.
I don't think they said it, but that's what it's traditionally been. So let's hope they go with tradition.
I don't think
and let's hope Adam Page falls out the ring 29 times.
I hope so, but it's not going to happen. I doubt it. Right. It's going to be the other way around, but we'll see.
All right, next is Queen Aminata versus the Professor. It's a queen versus a professor, Serena Deeb. I just wrote clinic.
You know what?
Deeb put on a clinic here.
Second best match of the night, dude. No, really. It was actually a good
match. Or was it Darby? Oh my God. Why couldn't Darby have just wrestled Serena and we could have just had a perfect match?
Dude, no, really. I'm not lying, right? These two, I'm starting to like their little rivalry going on, and at least, sure, they're not really telling a story though. That's the issue, but whatever. This is AEW story, I guess. That's the way they do things. But it actually was a good match. I'm impressed. I was impressed by it. I'm starting to really like the Queen.
Okay. All right. Queen growing on you. Okay.
But Deeb gets the win, of course, as she should.
She gets the win. Deeb talks to the Queen. Then we get Renee with Saraya and Harley. And Harley bites her thumb 50,000 times again while reading the rules of a Saraya rules match. So this was it was pure comedy. So if you didn't see it, I can't recap it for you. You just have to watch it.
I can't recap everything, but the best part about it was she called what's her name? Hater a slag. That popped.
Yeah, that was one of the rules was that Hater's a slag. Yeah.
Right. I don't know if Americans use that term, but I mean we do a lot. Like basically a slag is a slut, right? Mm. That's like
so don't
Australian.
Worry, Jimmy, we get it.
I don't know.
We just don't use it, but, you know.
Yeah, I like it. It's so dirty because it's such a dirty way of saying stuff. I think it's worse than slut. A slag is just like, yeah, it's pretty bad.
All right. And then, all right. So Lexi is with the Texas boys, and Sammy says, "Hey, you have 2 belts. I want to have 2 belts, so I'm gonna challenge Okada."
Cool. No hope.
Poor Okada. Can you imagine all the stuff that he's gonna have to talk Sammy Guevara out of in the match that they have? He's like,
I mean, yeah, he'd be like, yeah, and starts sticking up his fingers slowly, like, no,
yeah, maybe
that's when he's not gonna understand English. Yeah,
maybe.
If I saw it, no. I don't understand. It's still that makes me laugh. I remember 2 weeks ago, he was like, Aussie.
Yeah,
and he's kicking the shit out of fucking Fletcher. Aussie.
Yeah,
he cracks me up, bro.
Yeah, he's great. Well, here's the All-Star 10-man.
Oh yes,
it's Hook, it's the Outrunners, it's FTR versus the grizzled young veterans, Roosh for some strange reason, and Roderick Strong, and one more time, Jimmy.
Oh man, wait, let me get to it.
I don't know if we got that. Did you guys hear that? I didn't hear it.
Oh, that's why. Sorry, my bad.
All right.
Did you get it then?
Yeah.
Good.
So, you know, it's a 10-man tag, you know, all-star 10-man tag. You know how this goes. It's a good main event for Collision. We're used to having, you know, 6, 8, even 10 men all together. So
Liz. We like you, but please. Don't you dare say how long before we get a 20-man 4-way Texas fucking tornado match on a pole.
With lumberjacks and straps.
With lumberjacks and straps. And tasers.
That'll be next week.
Yes.
That'll be 9 days from tonight.
9 days from tonight.
All right. Well, we don't need to really recap this match, but I do want to say that the funniest part to me was at the end of the match, Roosh was waiting for FTR and Mortos to get all their shit in. And because he had to wait for them to do it, and he was selling, waiting for them to get all their shit in, That was the longest I've seen Roosh sell in his entire life. I've never seen him sell that long. That's when he just had to wait for them to finish doing all their stuff. But then he immediately came to life, and then he gave the horns to Hollywood Axe the Axon for the win. So Roosh wins. He just randomly shows up, has nothing to do with any of these people or any of this match, and he comes in and gets the pin. That's classic Roosh.
Classic Roosh and classic AEW on top of that, man. I'm sick of these main events, Vet, because by this point, I didn't care. I wasn't watching it, bro. I can't do this, man. I can't do all-star 10-man bullshit. Like, it's too much. It's getting worse and worse. We go from trios every week, and then now sneaking to like 4-on-4s, and now we got 5-on-5s, bro. Nah, time out, man. Time out, Tony, please. Stop it. Oh. Stop.
What's the matter? You don't like to see stars? All right. Well, anyway.
I'm done. Yeah. I'm done, bro.
All right. Well, Serena Deeb gets on and challenges Britt Baker to a match.
Why? She's going to lose, man.
Because she wants to challenge her. And then Nigel McGuinness starts to do a promo. And Tony Schiavone tries to stick up for Bryan Danielson. And then Nigel McGuinness shouts him down and is like, don't ever come up to me again or I'll knock you the fuck out. And Tony's like, I'm sorry. And he goes back to the desk. And then Nigel gets in the ring and continues cutting his promo. And he's very fired up about this, apparently. So
I've got a feeling it's not going to happen. The match ain't happening.
That would be great if it didn't happen. Dude. I hope it doesn't happen.
I think it's not going to happen. It will not happen. One way or the other, either he's going to get taken out somehow, or he chickens out when Danielson does turn up and then decides he's not going to go through with it. But I think the match will eventually happen. It's just not going to happen next week. I think. Possibly. Could be wrong, though. I could be way off.
Well, it's either going to happen or it isn't. So that's the end of.
I guess you're gonna have to find out.
That's the end of Collision. All the wreckage has been sifted through now.
It was sifted, but if there was a wrestler of the week for me was simple. He killed it all week for me, and Darby and Uno was the match of the week for me, easily.
All right,
by far. We don't even grade anymore, Vet, though. Do we grade this shit somehow? Or we just don't even bother? I thought Collision was better than Dynamite. MXM works for me, bro. But for real, I actually did enjoy Collision more than Dynamite, weirdly enough.
Well.
Yeah. I don't know why. It just seemed flowing better until we got to the end. That's another story. I just felt like they actually gave a shit a little bit when it comes to Collision. It felt like there was a bit more emphasis on it this time instead of it just being a waste. But when you do main events like that, that's a waste.
But there was 10 stars.
10 megastars, bro. Is that what they call them? Megastars? They're not superstars. They're...
I don't know.
Megastars. Oh, no, I'm overdoing it now. Okay, how about this? There you go.
There you go. Money well spent on a roadcaster. So,
oh, absolutely. I love it.
That's it.
That's
all we
got.
got.
We're done. We sifted through the shit. So insane, that bit. Well, there goes fucking shit's falling all over the place. I think I'm feeling a little joya after this, Vet, as a matter of fact. So, tell them what you're doing, bro.
Well, you can find me at Opinion Haver on all social media platforms. You can find me on the Next Level Wrestling Review every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here. You can find me for the Impact Attack every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, right here. You can check out Wrestling Rip Rogers at their concrete time of whenever they go live, except not this week. So you can also check out the Stevie Richards Show every Friday. Check out JTG's YouTube channel and check out everything else on HMG, including The Bottom Line. And Jimmy, you've got a show coming up in a couple of days as well, too, which you could tell the people about.
Well, if you love your WWE Monday Night Raw, just like we do, well, then tune in Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. And what was the Pacific time, actually? Vet, you always say it. I actually forgot what the time is for Pacific.
7?
Is it 7? Damn, that's pretty early. Well, anyway, come and tune into I Like a Raw with myself and Big Ray Hernandez, where we talk all things WWE Raw every Tuesday mornings. And of course, I wasn't on the Smack Attack yesterday. It's because of the times. What's it called? John was, started a little bit later. By that point, I was pretty buggered. So that's why I wasn't on. But yeah, I'll be on this week with John to do the Smack Attack. And of course, this show right here for with myself and the vet, of course, every Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 7 Pacific, or is it 8 Pacific for this show? So, yeah, that's it, man. And if you want to follow me, you can on the Twitter right there, DJ Mass Effects, and at the PWC Network. Like and subscribe right here at channelattitude.com, where $5 only to get the best, but the realest talk in all the pro wrestling. And also HaminMediaGroup.podbean.com for all our affiliate shows. And last but not least, like and subscribe right here at Hamin Media Group YouTube channel. And I've noticed you guys have been, because the subscriber numbers have been going up every week, which we very much appreciate. So we just need 100 more to get to that 1,000 mark. So please, guys, keep liking, keep sharing, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to do. Just get us out there so we can reach that 1,000 mark. They'll be very much appreciated. So that's about it from me, Vet. So tell them where they can find you. I know it's easy.
Already did,
Opinion Haver everywhere.
I already told you, Jimmy. I pitched it to you. You're pitching it back
everywhere.
You can find me watching Bloodsport free on YouTube with ads.
There you go.
And if YouTube won't let you watch cool movies in your country, get a VPN.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe we should do a watch along one day for everybody for Bloodsport. Aaron, you go watch it now, damn it. As soon as we go and catch it. And for anyone that hasn't watched it, please do yourself a favor, but I can't believe it. I thought you were trolling me, but I guess you weren't. I mean, that's crazy. So anyway, in saying that, I am Jimmy T. That is the vet, Jamie Williams. And you've been listening and watching The Wreckage. Peace.